Hello there, Liverpool fans. Back with another video to talk about the preview for the Manchester United game, which is going to be played on Sunday, the 16th of December at Anfield, and it's a 4 p.m. kickoff. Now, coming into this game, we had a great result against Napoli. It was a very good result, but the save of the match right at the end, man. I was sweating. I was panicking. I was nervous. All the feelings that you could have. As soon as I saw the ball coming into our penalty area, and I see it's going over about two or three players' heads, and then it fell to the feet of bloody the substitute. What's his name? Milik, and he's in front of the goal, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, what have we done here? We're going to concede, and we're out. We're out of the Champions League. And then what a save from Alisson. I mean, the man is just he's coolness personified. He really is. He knows how to handle the pressure. He knows how to save shots. Some of fans of other teams and opponents in the league and other people are just saying it was an easy save because it was straight at him. But if you think of it objectively, it was in the last seconds of the game, and any other keeper would have panicked. Most keepers would have just panicked and dived straight away. They wouldn't have even had time to think what they're going to do. But with Alisson, you always know that he's clever. He always sees the picture before it develops, and he can react in an instant. And that's what he did. He reacted and he saved it brilliantly, and saved us really from getting eliminated from the Champions League. Now, for me, I said it before the match. I'm not too bothered because last season we got to the final of the Champions League and lost disappointingly to Real Madrid in Kiev. But this season, seeing that we're doing so well in the league, the Premier League, I wouldn't have been too bothered if we went out because I want us to concentrate fully on the Premier League and try and win as many games as we can, even if we get to the Europa League, which I would have played the youngsters. If we'd dropped into the Europa League, I would have been happy with Klopp playing the young players because we don't want to risk, injuring our main players for the important games in the league. So all in all, it was a very, very good result for Liverpool. Beating Napoli, the fact that they hadn't even lost a game in the group up until the game at Anfield, the final game of the group, and we go through to the last 16 of the Champions League, which is good in one sense and bad in the other sense because now, typically, we're starting to pick up injuries. We lost Gomez in the game against Burnley through it was a tackle of some sort, but I didn't think he was going to get that badly injured. And it turns out that he can't play now for about 2 months, a month and a half, 2 months. And then we lost Matip. Typically, as soon as he starts to put in two or three good performances in the league, we lose him to bloody injury. And now we have to rely on Dejan Lovren. So what can you do? I mean, I think this is one of Klopp's weak points because in the summer he should have addressed this. It's all well and good that we've got the two midfielders, Keita and Fabinho, and we've got a goalkeeper and Shaqiri, but we needed to buy another extra defender. Seeing that the injury record of players like Matip, Lovren, and Gomez even, who was out for virtually 2 years. He was out since Klopp came to the club. He came in 15-16 as manager, Jurgen Klopp. And when he came into the club, Gomez was already injured. He wasn't even in the squad. He was recovering from the bad injury that he picked up maybe a couple of weeks before Klopp was appointed the manager. So it shows that he has an injury record as well. He's a good player. He's a very good, talented young centre-back, and he will go on to be one of the best, I feel. But the problem is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be able to stay fit for the games? Because it seems to me that he keeps picking up injuries and niggles and this and that. So there's a bit of a problem in that position for Liverpool, the centre-back position. And I don't trust Lovren as well. I mean, Lovren, you cannot trust him. I want to support him. As a Liverpool fan, I want to support him. I want to praise him and say that he's a very steady, a very professional centre-back like Virgil van Dijk. But the truth is he isn't. We've seen it over the years. We've seen the amount of mistakes he makes in league games or in, important cup games or whatever it is. You know, the fact that he played well in the World Cup in the summer doesn't mean that he's a great player. I've said this all along. You know, we shouldn't be deluding ourselves. We shouldn't be forgetting about the past, what he did in the past, and how he made mistakes that cost Liverpool, along with the goalkeepers, you know, Mignolet and Karius. So I still feel that Klopp needs to go out in the January transfer window and maybe buy a centre back and possibly a you know, attacking midfielder, the like of Nabil Fekir, because there's certain stories circulating in the press and in, you know, the newspapers that Fekir, apparently Lyon are willing to sell him now, so to Liverpool or whoever puts in the bids, and it's the perfect opportunity. I would bring him in now, because the thing with Pulisic is, Christian Pulisic, his price is too high, and Dortmund don't want to get rid of him until the summer, so we can't wait that long. We need the players now. This is the most crucial part of our season, January. You know, we need to start buying the final pieces of the jigsaw, and then start moving up the league, staying at the top of the league. You know, get as far as we can in European competition, in the Champions League. But our main priority this season is the Premier League title. I feel that's what I want as a Liverpool fan. You know, I don't know what other Liverpool fans want. I'd be happy with any trophy, because the fact that Klopp's come into the club and it's going on 4 years now and he hasn't won a single trophy yet. He's got to 3 finals. We've lost all 3 of them. So now, this season, we're in such a good position. We should be winning something. You know, whether it's the FA Cup, the Champions League, or the Premier League title, which is going to be the toughest. Winning the league is going to be the toughest, because we've got a Manchester City team who are doing very well. They're not letting up. They're not losing points. Their only blemish was the defeat against Chelsea last weekend. So, for me, as a Liverpool fan, I want to see Liverpool winning the Premier League title, the Championship, because it's been 28 years, my friends. 28 years is too long for a club like Liverpool to not be winning the league. You know, we were used to winning it in the 70s and 80s every 2 seasons, you know, or virtually every season for a period of time. And now we haven't got near to winning it. I think we've only finished second maybe 6 or 7 times in the Premier League era. So it's not good enough. We need to win it. And now we have the perfect opportunity. But this Sunday we have a massive obstacle to, you know, get past, and that is Manchester United. Now, the fact that they're 16 points behind Liverpool in the league should not be, how do you say, should not make us feel too confident, because this is like a derby match. It's a mega match in the league between the 2 main rivals, the 2 teams that have won the most league titles in the history of English football. So Manchester United are doing very badly in the league and in the European competition, and they're not performing to the level that they can do with the players that they have. It's probably down to the manager, Mourinho. He doesn't know how to get the best out of them, and I feel that they're not actually playing for him anymore. They don't want to play for Mourinho. They want to change in the manager, in the management of the club, and that's why I think they're not giving 100%, the players. But against Liverpool, seeing that Liverpool are now at the top of the league, they will definitely want to dent our title aspirations. They will definitely want to, you know, get a draw out of the game, or to somehow beat us if they can. But it falls down to Liverpool. We need to start the game with a good tempo. We need to start the game fast, and we need to get at them and make them panic, make them lose their nerve at the beginning of the game. And if we can do that, then I feel that we will beat them, because they're not doing well. This is not a very good Manchester United team. They have quality players in the team, in the squad, but if you don't know how to get the best out of them, then they're in 6th position, aren't they? They're 16 points behind Liverpool. So that shows me that they're not a very good team this season. So Liverpool need to have the belief. We need to have the mentality that we will go out there and beat them. Try and get an early goal. If we get the early goal, that means that they have to come out and attack Liverpool. They have to play. They have to try and play and try and create chances against us. And when they do that, seeing that Liverpool are much more solid, much more defensively sound at the moment, they will make mistakes. They will give the ball away, and Liverpool can punish them. We can get more goals. So the key for the game, in my opinion, is to score the early goal against Man United. Do not leave it until after half time, please. You know, the last 2 seasons at Anfield, we've ended up drawing 0-0. with this shite team, and they didn't even perform. They just came for a point. They defended for a point, and they got the point. But this is what Mourinho does. This is what his expertise is. He knows how to kill the game. He knows how to frustrate teams and to to get a draw from the game or to snatch it. So we have to be very careful. We mustn't go out with the mind frame that we're just going to turn up and we're going to beat them. We have to have a good plan. We have to play tactically correct, and we have to be on our game on the day. And Klopp, please, for the love of God, Klopp, do not play Henderson. Do not play Wijnaldum. They played pretty well against Napoli, but you can't play them again, man. Just put in Fabinho, Keita and Shaqiri. This midfield has everything. It has stability, it has creativity, and it has energy. Keita is the kind of player that will attack teams from the middle of the pitch. And, Shaqiri can create. Fabinho can defend. And this is what we need, We can't be going out with the mindset that we're just going to turn up and win the game. It doesn't work like that in the Premier League. Especially against your main rivals, teams like Manchester United or City or Chelsea, Tottenham, These teams, you need to have a different kind of plan, different tactical nous how to beat them on the day. And Klopp hasn't really got a good record against Manchester United. I think he's got, 3 draws? I think we beat them in the Europa League in his first season at Anfield 2-0, and we drew away 1-1. And then in the league, I think they beat us again at Anfield. And before Klopp came to the club, we lost 3-1, I think, in Rodgers' first game of one of the first games of the season, the 15-16 season. I think we ended up losing that game 3-1 at Old Trafford. Yeah, it was the Benteke game where he scored that outstanding overhead kick. But we ended up losing the game 3-1. So the next season, the 16-17, I think we drew 0-0 again at Anfield, and 1-1 at Old Trafford. Yeah, we took the lead at Old Trafford through a Milner penalty. And then they got that lucky equaliser right at the end. I think in the 86th minute, Ibrahimovic tried to head the ball, and somehow it sneaked over the line. I think Mignolet even got a hand to it. And again, the ball, we were just so unlucky. It just crept over the line. We cleared the ball, but it had already crossed the line, so it was a goal. And we ended up drawing the game 1-1. And last season, again, we drew 0-0 at Anfield in a dire game. I mean, they really took the life out of the game because they were only interested in a point, and that's what they came for. And that's what the result ended up being, because we weren't creative enough. We weren't good enough on the day to beat them. We had the majority of the possession. We had the majority of the few chances that were in the game, but we were not able to win it. So, yeah, it was another disappointing 0-0. And then the second match at Old Trafford, which was in March, I think, March 2018, coming towards the end of the season, the 17-18 season. And we were flying, we were doing very well in the league and in the Champions League. And all of a sudden, we found ourselves going to Old Trafford for an early kickoff. I think it was a 12:45 kickoff. And they beat us. I mean, fair and square, they beat us with Rashford getting a double. And on the day, Trent wasn't good enough in defence. He made mistakes and he allowed Rashford to get past him, I think, a couple of times. And Rashford was just on fire for some reason. He hadn't even been on form before he played Liverpool. And he got 2 goals against us. We got one back in the second half to make it 2-1. But we weren't able to get the equaliser. And I think the referee stopped us from getting a penalty. He didn't give a penalty decision towards the end of the game. We were very close to getting a penalty. And for some reason, he didn't feel that it was a penalty. When, if you see the replay, I think it was Fellaini, that big, ugly bear, and he cut off Mane. Mane was going into the area, and he sort of, I think with his elbow or something, stopped Mane from getting to the ball, and it was a blatant penalty, a stonewall penalty in United's area, and the bloody referee didn't give it. So we ended up losing the game 2-1 at Old Trafford. But I'm not scared of them this season because they're playing very bad. They're all over the place. the good thing is that defensively they're not solid. They look like they can concede all the time. They conceded 2 against Valencia the other day. Before that, I think they conceded against Fulham, and they've been conceding all over the place. I think 28 goals in. They've conceded 28 goals in 16 Premier League games. We've only conceded 6. So 22 goals, we're better than them. You know, defensively, we've conceded 22 goals less than Manchester United. So that shows me that defensively they're weak. You know, we can get goals out of them. We can create chances. So my philosophy for the game is, I want Liverpool to attack the first half. We can finish them off. If we get a couple of goals in the first half, then that kills their game plan, basically. And because they're fragile, their confidence, their morale is fragile at the moment, they will virtually give up. If they concede a goal or 2 goals, I think that they will give up. They won't even be able to get back into the game. It's all about what Liverpool do. I don't think that Manchester United will play that much of a part in the game. If we don't allow them to, you know, it's all down to Liverpool. We need to play the game properly. We need to play the game in a correct manner. And we need to attack them, thinking that we're going to beat them. You know, we have to have the belief, because these kind of situations where you don't beat a team for, let's say, 5 or 6 years, they become psychological barriers where you're always thinking about the previous match, what happened the season before, or the season before that, and that can get into your psyche. You need to just think of it as a one-off match. You can't think about the past, Liverpool players. And we've changed our squad a bit, haven't we? We've brought in new players, and so we should be ready for it. We should be ready to win the game and keep at the top of the league, stay at the top of the league. And City will probably beat Everton. I don't see Everton going to the Etihad and defeating Manchester City, because Everton are not the kind of team that will do a favour for Liverpool anyway. They want Liverpool to fail. We want Everton to fail, and they've been failing for the past 23, 24 years anyway. They haven't won anything. They haven't achieved anything in the league. And they can say that we haven't won the title, but we've always been better than Everton for the past 20 years at least. We've always finished above them in the league, and so I can't see Everton going to the Etihad realistically and getting anything from the game. If they can get a draw, that will be very good for Liverpool. If they can just pick up a draw, and then we go into the Man United game and we win. We have to win. We shouldn't be playing for a draw again against Man United. Try and get the early goal. If we get that early goal, they will crumble, United. Their confidence is fragile, and they're not a good team this season. They're not playing good football. Mourinho has lost the plot. The players don't want him there anymore. There's disharmony in the club. There's chaos. There's madness going on at Manchester United, and we need to take advantage. This is the perfect opportunity, because you're not always gonna find Manchester United in this position. And this season we have to take full advantage of it, because next season they will probably invest. They will buy better players. They will probably get a new manager and become strong again, because they have the money. They have the financial resources, Manchester United. Although I think I heard someone saying that they're in big debt, financial crisis as well, but because of they're a commercialised club, and they earn a lot of money every year. They make a lot of profit in the world. So do Liverpool, but Manchester United started to do this earlier than us. They started in the early 90s, and because they were successful, they started winning league titles. They started winning, other trophies, and around the world they had a massive following as well, like Liverpool. And commercially, they became successful. They started to their merchandise and the amount of people that support them and plough money into the club starting to increase. And as a consequence, they became a mega rich, club, Manchester United, that could attract many players, that could buy many players. So, but now they're going down. The past 5 or 6 years, they're in a downward spiral, and long may it continue. Hopefully, it continues for a very, very many more years. And Liverpool do the opposite. We become successful, because this season is the perfect opportunity, the perfect chance for us to win the Premier League. We have to do it. Don't be telling me that because Manchester City are having an outstanding season and this and that. Doesn't matter. If we're at the top of the league, we can do it. If we're there now, that means that we deserve to be there. We've won the games. We've deserved to, go to the top of the league, so we can take it until the final week of the season, and win it. Take the league title from City. And if we do that, then it could be a very successful period of Liverpool Football Club. We could go on winning the title maybe 2 or 3 years in a row. We could go on winning other trophies. Doing well in European football, the Champions League. So even if we don't win the Champions League this season, or we don't get far in it, I'm not too bothered. We've gotten into the last 16 now. We have to wait and see who we get in the draw, which I think takes place on the 17th of December, on a Monday. This Monday coming up, the draw is going to be made, and we wait to see who we get. We're going to get one of the winners of the groups. So it's not going to be an easy game. We're going to get, one of the big teams, possibly Barcelona, Real Madrid, or Juventus, Borussia Dortmund, one of these teams, even Porto. Porto, I think, won their group. Schalke. No, not Schalke. Schalke finished second, so we can't play them. And Paris Saint-Germain. So it's going to be one of the big boys, one of the best teams in Europe. We're going to get drawn against, and we have to be ready when the time comes, in February. But until February, we have a very good chance now to do well in the league, to start opening up a bit of a gap with Man City, and see what happens, really. Hopefully we can do it, because it's all well and good praising the manager and saying that we're doing well and we're moving up the table, we're going through the rounds of the the European Cup. But when they look at the end of the season and they see that you haven't won anything, it's just going to be the same old story, isn't it? I mean, I feel sorry for Klopp, because now that he's got the team together, he's got the squad together, and the other teams in the league have decided to play brilliantly. The top 4 teams, top 3 or 4 teams in the league have decided to go on a roll and start winning games, when this could have been our season. In any other season in the league, we would have been far away from all the other challengers. We would have been, I think, 11 or 12 points away from them, in front of them, because they did something like a analysis of teams that were in front at this stage of the season in previous seasons in the league, and it shows that they had like 10 or 11 point gaps over their nearest challengers in second position. And to see Liverpool were only 1 point ahead of City, it's unbelievable. I mean, and I think only 6 points ahead of Tottenham. So we need to keep on winning, Liverpool fans. That's the main point that I'm trying to make. We need to keep on winning the games. Believe that we have the chance to win it now. I know there's going to be fatigue and injuries. Players are going to be tired. The pressure is going to mount on them. They're going to have to handle a lot of pressure. They're going to have to be able to have strong characters, strong mentality, because if you want to be a winner in football, you need to have the belief. You need to have the strong character. You can't be weak when you lose a game or you draw a game. You need to say, all right, so we drop points, we bounce back next week, we win again, keep winning, and it's going to be a long marathon until May, So there's going to be ups and downs. We need to be ready for this. We need to be used to this, because it happened in the 13-14 season, where we were doing so good and we looked certain to win it, and then all of a sudden, with about 4 or 5 games to go, we lost that Chelsea game at Anfield, and we threw away a 3-goal lead at Crystal Palace, and we gifted it. We virtually gifted it to Manchester City, and they took the title with about, I think, with a 2-point gap over Liverpool. So this is going to happen in the season. They're going to go to the top, then we're going to overtake them. We're going to go to the top. So because there's still many games to go, I think there's still 22 games to go. We shouldn't be, panicking. We shouldn't be nervous. We have to be calm, We have to be calm and collective under the pressure. It's going to change. There's going to be a lot of changes in the results, in the way the league pans out, basically. So we can't expect Liverpool to be there all the time, or City to be there all the time. It's the same with their fans as well. This is going to be like a big challenge for both teams to see who is the best this season. And hopefully it's Liverpool in May. Hopefully we win the Premier League title. It's about bloody time. As I said before, 28 seasons, 28 years since we won it in 1990. And we need to get that feeling back again. We need to get that success back again at Liverpool Football Club. because I don't want to see. It's bad enough that we had to watch bloody Manchester United at the top for so many years in the 90s, in the 2000s, and now to see bloody City there, who were nowhere to be seen for 50 years, and all of a sudden, because of the money, the investment that they've had from these Arabs, they've become a big club in a way. They're still not a big club because they've only won, I think, 4 or 5 titles compared to our 18, and Manchester United have got 20, so they're not a big club in the wider context of things, but they think that they are. And when they think that they are, they're going to try to make it possible. They're going to try and make it happen and to become a big club, because they know that they've got the financial backing. They know that they've got a good manager, a good system in place now, City. And that's what gives them the confidence. That's what gives them the arrogance to carry on and to become successful again. And Liverpool have really gone away from being successful. Our last trophy was 6 years ago, the League Cup against Cardiff, which we won on penalties, and that was in 2012. So I think it was in February 2012. So yeah, 6.5 years ago. So we really need to win something this season to get some sort of silverware in the cabinet. I wouldn't mind if it's the FA Cup and then we have a good run in the league and we do well in the Champions League. Even that would make me happy, just to actually win something again, to get that feeling, that confidence back again for Liverpool Football Club would be perfect, would be ideal. And hopefully they can do it, fellow Liverpool fans. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about, the Manchester United preview. For the teams, I'm not really going to say anything about the teams because we know who's going to play. Alisson in goal. If Trent isn't playing, then he could use Milner there. And then it's going to be Lovren, Virgil van Dijk, Robertson in the rest of the back line. Now, midfield is the main area. I want to see Klopp play Fabinho, to play Keita and Shaqiri. Do not put Henderson and Wijnaldum into this game, Klopp, please, because you'll ruin it. I'm telling you, United are not doing well, but this midfield will not challenge them. This midfield will not be able to create anything against Manchester United, especially if they have a low block, if they play defensive football, which they are going to do, because they can't play attacking against Liverpool at Anfield. If they try and attack us, they're going to get smashed. They're going to get, ripped to pieces by Liverpool. So they're going to keep it, tight at the back and then try and hit us on the counter, basically. And they'll probably use someone like Martial or Rashford up front to try and get in behind our defence and cause us problems. So we need to be patient, but we need to be creative. We need to have energy. We need to be patient and wait for our chance. And we need to have creativity in the middle. Someone who can play killer balls into the front players, who can take good set pieces, like Shaqiri is the perfect example. And he needs to play, in my opinion. He will be a perfect creator, a perfect attacking player for Liverpool that can not only score himself, but he can set up the front players, Mane, Salah, Firmino. So hopefully Klopp plays this kind of system, this kind of team, and he doesn't put Henderson in there again. But knowing Klopp, he's always likely to give him a chance or to play Wijnaldum. Hopefully he doesn't, and because some people were saying that they played well against Napoli, when if you look at the first half, they were getting done all over the place. Henderson was losing the ball. He wasn't playing any good passes. Wijnaldum looked like he was playing on bloody skates again. He couldn't keep his foot in. He kept slipping over all the time. Or he takes too long, man. Just play the pass quickly. You haven't got time in European games. You're not playing against some second division, third division team in the FA Cup. This is, big games. Big games demand big performances from players. You need to play your best in these games. And if you can't, then in my opinion, you shouldn't be in the team. And I don't understand why Klopp keeps utilising Henderson and Wijnaldum in the team, because he's got the two deputies that can play in their place. He's got Fabinho, he's got Keita, and he can also utilise Shaqiri. So you should be making the best of these players, Klopp, man. And against a team like United, you need to have, as I said before, you need to have stability at the back or in the middle of the park. You need to have energy and you need to have creativity. These are the 3 keys to winning this game. If we can do that against Man United, we can have all these attributes on the pitch at the same time, then we will beat them. I have no doubts because we are the better team. We're 16 points ahead of them in the league. We should be beating them at Anfield. We expect to beat them. You know, City beat them 3-1, so we should be beating them as well. And we're in front of City in the league. You know, we're top of the league. So if you look at it in that context, but of course they're going to be up for it. This is Liverpool. This is probably their biggest game of the season, Man United, because they're not going to achieve anything in the league, and they probably won't even qualify for the Champions League unless they turn it around miraculously. They have to have a major run, you know, a big run in the league to get anywhere near the Champions League places. And yeah, so we need to show them who is the boss. We need to show them who's the better team. And that falls down to picking the right players, to having the right system, the right tactics on the day. So Klopp needs to think now. He's got a few injury problems with Trent also. Trent is going to be missing as well, I think. He picked up is it a metatarsal injury or something? Some kind of injury in his leg. And he's not going to be able to play as well. So, yeah, so he can put Milner there, as I said before. I would say he should put Nathaniel Klein there, but the fact that Klein hasn't even played this season, you can't put him in. You can't put him into a game against Manchester United. He could be rusty. He will be rusty, most probably. And he could make mistakes, you know, and cost us the game. So we need to have a player that is fit, is prepared for the game. And Milner can play in that position. Even Fabinho, I think, has played at right back as well a few times in his career. So he can play there as well. So we shall see anyway what Klopp does. And good luck to the Reds. Up the Reds, the mighty Reds. We batter United and we stay at the top of the league, hopefully. Another 3 points on the board. And then we go into the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers at Molineux on a Friday night on the 21st, I think it is, of December. And then we have a 5-day gap until the Newcastle game on Boxing Day, which we should be winning again against a lowly team in the league. And then we have another big game against Arsenal at Anfield. Now, they're doing well this season, but their defence is still terrible. We can easily beat them again at Anfield. We have the hoodoo over them, the hoodoo sign. We've been battering them at Anfield last 2 or 3 seasons, you know, 3-1, 4-0. And we've always scored goals against them at Anfield, even at their own ground, at the Emirates. We scored 4 in one game, in the opening game of the 16-17 season. Then we scored 3 last season in that unbelievable 3-3 draw, which we should have won again. We were 2-0 up and ended up capitulating and falling 3-2 behind. And then we got an equaliser about 20 minutes ago through Firmino. And we still had time to win the game. But we didn't want to risk it because we'd already conceded 3 goals. We didn't want to try and attack and then lose the game right at the end. And we ended up getting a draw. So, but the point I'm trying to make is we can score goals against Arsenal. Arsenal always give Liverpool chances. And they have done for 3 or 4 years. And we've always battered them, especially at Anfield. So we should be thinking again in the same frame of mind to go out there and wallop them. Now United will play different. United will try to contain us. They will try to be defensively solid and hit us on the counter attack. So we need to just come up with a different way of playing against United. If some players have to, you know, sacrifice themselves, then they have to do it. You know, the likes of Mane or Salah, they have to work for the team. Mane mustn't be greedy. You know, I was very disappointed with him against Napoli, where he's missing chances all over the place, man. And he was laughing as well, so that pissed me off even more. You know, you're playing in a major game in the Champions League in European football, and you're having all these chances and you're not scoring. And then you start to laugh, you know, it gives off the wrong impression, like you don't care or your head's somewhere else. You need to be focused, Mane. You need to take the big game seriously and you need to perform. Look at Salah. Salah scored the goal and he played an outstanding game. Even against Bournemouth, he got a hat-trick. So Mane needs to be, you know, trying to get to the same level as Salah. And they need to pass to each other. They need to work as a unit, along with Firmino, because this is what made us successful last season. And we're starting to get back to good form again, but there's still some aspects of the game missing. We need to make sure that we put it all together. And when we do that, there's no team that we can't beat. We'll be beating everyone in the league and in Europe, I'm telling you. It could be a very successful season for Liverpool. We could end up winning the double, you know, the Premier League and the Champions League. Although I was at the beginning of the season, I think one fan said that on YouTube, he had a video and he said that he thought that Liverpool were going to win the league and the Champions League. And I was like, are you mad? Are you crazy? We can't do that shit, man. It's not possible in this day and age. But now that we're through to the next round, anything is possible, it seems. And we have to believe, we have to have the confidence, the arrogance to go out and smash teams and win the league again. And possibly the Champions League, who knows? So anyway, thank you for watching the video, Liverpool fans. Please like, subscribe and share the video. Make your comments in the comment section below. It will be very much appreciated from fellow Liverpool fans, Reds all across the globe. And thank you very much again for watching the video. Hopefully another 3 points against the Manc bastards at Anfield, and we stay at the top of the league. Take care of yourselves. Have the belief, have the confidence, and just support this team until the end, because they're looking very good. They're looking very professional, very efficient this season, very organised, Liverpool. And we haven't even lost a game yet in the league, so it all bodes well for the coming months of the season. And hopefully in May we'll be celebrating winning the championship, you know. So take care of yourselves, Liverpool fans, and we'll speak again, possibly after the game or in a few days' time, you know, because I haven't had the chance to make videos during this week, and this is the only chance I've got on a Friday, 2 days before the Man United game. So that's it, Liverpool fans. Thank you again, and we'll talk again later.